Iron Duke's record-breaking haul of just over 3,000 kilos of cocaine hit the headlines at the end of last year. Now, with business virtually back to normal, we caught up with the crew still in the Caribbean. For obvious reasons, we've kept names anonymous. Hi guys, thanks very much for joining us and having a chat on 2-6. Now, we've all seen the news footage recently, and I'm hoping that you can tell us a little bit more from your personal point of view about the recent drugs bust that you're involved in.
Yeah, no problem. I was part of the boarding party that helped with the law enforcement detachment team, which are the US Coast Guard. I was a crew guard on the vessel, so I assisted in monitoring and keeping a good eye on the detainees whilst the US Coast Guard carried on with the search.
We basically got on board the vessel about 1900 on the first day, and after the day it secured the vessel and provided crew guard protection. By about 0200 the next morning, nothing had been found so far, so we got back to basics and searched the ship's plans to see if there might have been any hidden compartments. When I looked into the hold, I could see where the drugs were hidden, and on moving around some of the cargo in the hold, we noticed that it was just wooden decks. So we lifted some wooden decks and realised that they'd concreted some of the deck in, so it tried to hide it on top of the cargo. So once we'd removed that, it was just it was a massive amount of drugs in such a small confined space. So it was obviously quite a well-organised effort to hide the drugs and get them to where they were supposed to go.
And did you have any idea that it would be such a big haul initially?
Not initially, no, because after the initial look throughout the vessel, the US Coast Guard couldn't really find nothing. They got into the nooks and crannies, found one, and then from then onwards they just found more and more after that.
I know the news was reporting that you seized something like 212 bales of cocaine, which is phenomenal. Obviously, putting aside the usual jokes and everything, after all the hard work that you guys obviously did on board, did you get the opportunity to just kick back and have a little bit of rest and relaxation?
Kind of, yeah. We got a little bit of time alongside in Barbados where we could kind of relax a bit, have a few drinks. Some of us went off and played sports for the ship. So we had a bit of time to ourselves afterwards. On
the day, I guess there was a whole media frenzy as well. There were lights, camera and action and everything. But when all that was finished, did you sort of put all that aside and then get back to your regular job?
Yeah, once we got back on board Iron Duke, we had a quick dobie, got ourselves changed back into rig, and then unfortunately we had to start getting turned to again because unfortunately it never stops. As we've only got a crew of 180, everyone's got more than one job on board, so we have to sort of roll up our sleeves and crack on and get involved with everything else that's going on a normal APT North deployment.
And finally now, obviously we're coming up to Christmas. I think you're heading back home for Christmas, is that right?
Yes, yeah, we are.
So what are you going to be doing between now and then, apart from counting down the days?
Well, obviously we're going to continue with the counter-narcotics operations, staying around the islands to keep an eye out for any smugglers. Then we're conducting some maritime security in the vicinity of Trinidad and Tobago for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, which Her Majesty the Queen will be attending. We'll be there as a contingency in case anything untoward were to happen in the vicinity of Trinidad and Tobago.
And are you looking forward to Christmas after all of that work?
Yeah, it's been a busy year for Iron Duke, and I think this has topped off our very successful year, and we just can't wait to get home to our families and spend some time at home.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, thanks for chatting to us.
No problem.
Thank you. Bye. From action on the high seas to a more sombre occasion, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, which marked the end of the First World War, Remembrance Day. It was particularly poignant this year, as it was the first time veterans from the Great War were no longer with us. But also, it was a chance to remember the more recent losses in Afghanistan. We will remember them.